From the clean quiet of the winter woods to the raging firestorms of summer, it seems like a long ways off, but it's not. It's hard to imagine that once the snow melts and the forest dries out, it'll be fire season once again. Our forests, especially the ponderosa pine, is at risk. Catastrophic insect attacks and unprecedented wildfires have created a forest emergency. And it's not just about our trees. It is about every value our forest holds, from quality bull trout habitat to quiet, shady solitude. This has become normal for the Boise National Forest. Every year for a decade, an average of 63,000. Suppression costs in 1994 alone approached $80 million. These fires have become the norm, but they are not fires of the past. And lightning strike. Historically, most of the current Douglas fir habitats on the Boise National Forest were dominated by ponderosa pines. Low-intensity, frequent ground fires burn these areas every 7 to 20 years. Open park-like stands of ponderosa pine were maintained by fire. 30 trees to the acre were common in the Boise basins. Current research information shows that beginning at the turn of the century, ancient tree composition began. Now, there are per acre, over 3, and only 140 are pines. The rest are fir trees. This cross-section of an old-growth ponderosa pine shows the fire cycle. Historically, frequent ground fires cleared out the understory by eliminating small competing trees and keeping the brush and grass healthy, allowing the ponderosa pine to thrive. However, in this century, exploding populations of fir trees have become a serious and immediate threat to the forest. Fir effects from grazing, ending of America. The efficient firefighting effort since World War II has allowed fir trees to increase. Fir is less resilient to insect epidemics and wildfires than ponderosa pine. Although this ecosystem is beautiful, it is not healthy and not sustainable. With the exclusion of the fire cycle, this forest has become overstocked with Douglas fir, resulting in a large accumulation of ground and ladder fuels and paving the way for insects and fires to kill large stands of trees. Add fire to these unhealthy ecosystems now, and the results are simply devastating.
We're having large, intense, catastrophic fires occurring in our ponderosa pine Doug fir landscapes. These fires are very uncharacteristic, low-intensity ground fires, and now with these intense fires that are killing trees, stand replacing events, they're affecting a lot more than the vegetation. They're affecting a large area from a diverse successional stages. We're setting up the watersheds to have debris flows. There is no vegetation, and the vegetation is not there to stop the water from coming down the slopes and causing streams to wash out. The fisheries populations were removed during the Foothills fire. They came back, and now we're having debris flows and things that are causing those fish to be eliminated again. So it's not just the effects of the vegetation. These wildfires are affecting all the resources, the visuals, the fisheries, the fire landscape.
Fires on the Boise National Forest are fires of the past. 105,000 acres, or 8% of our total forests. Fires generate has profound effects on the inhabitants of the land. Homes are burning and communities are being threatened. Smoke from these fires dominate airsheds across Idaho for most of the summer. We have learned lessons. If we don't take corrective actions now, nature will do it for us in ways we might not like. The Star Gulch fire blazed toward Idaho City on the afternoon of August 19, 1990, quickly through the fir-dominated forest intensity so that by nightfall, 10,000 acres lay smoking. This is the Cottonwood Creek drainage in April of 1990. These Forest Service crews are conducting months before the Star Gulch wildfire came through here. 5 months later, as the wildfire crested a ridge and raced down the Cottonwood drainage, the crowning fire actually dropped to the ground in the prescribed burn area, lightly burning under the trees and leaving most of them very much alive. This is what that area looks like now. The green trees prescribed burn in the spring are living. The black trees are dead. Victims never have happened. We know that management strategies work. Here at Cottonwood Creek, we learned that human intervention in fire to within its historical, it reps similar to and provides for sustainable ecosystems. Not all forest fire. In fact, in many areas, trees is difficult to use without pines, and removing smaller firs and pines is necessary before prescribed fire can be used as a tool in these areas. Our task is to begin burning and treating the highest risk areas first. Using satellite imagery, the Boise National Forest is pinpointing where the high hazard stands of fir are being identified. Imagery. By using computer mapping systems to combine this information with known areas of high hazard vegetation starts, areas that are important wildlife and fish habitat focus on and treat the risk. 6% of the Boise forest will be destroyed over the next 20 years. This information fighters by forecasting potential fire intensities and resource values at risk. Very little time. We need to fire as never before. That the future of our forests is in our hands. The question, enough of the right kinds of management in time to make a difference.